Okay, hi everybody. Thank you for listening to my presentation today. Sorry if this is a little awkward. This is the first time I have ever presented awards like this. Kind of funny reflecting back on last year when this was in person, but I'm really excited anyways. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Sarah Edgar, and for the past year I've been able to serve as the chapter president for the Colorado Gamma chapter of Pi Beta Phi. All in all, this has been such a year of challenges and growth, and I've learned so much about myself and so much about my chapter. And even after all of the many disappointments and changes, I am so grateful for everything. And I'm so blessed to have been able to watch my leadership team and chapter grow alongside me. So I'm happy to be able to showcase this to you today. Here we go. So first up, we're going to talk about our risk management and harm reduction strategies. This is kind of my baby of the chapter. I've always been really passionate about risk after serving as our chapter's risk chair and vice president of events. So this is what I am so excited for. Even though we've only had a couple events this year prior to COVID-19, we hold mandatory risk workshops before each and every social event. This is absolutely crucial. And one thing we have been able to do with this is keep it serious, but also make it fun. Like, we understand that we're presenting to college students, and if we're just going to read off of a PowerPoint for them for like 30 minutes to an hour, like, they're not going to get anything from that. But if we bring in some funny memes or cute videos, or even if we just have open and honest dialogue with our members, they're much more likely to take away some of these important aspects. So let's just cover a few of these things. We always discuss expectations for social events. This falls directly from our values and morals. One of the pillars of our chapter is sincere friendship, and we teach our members that to be a sincere friend, you will call your sister in if she is not acting in a way that's congruent with our beliefs and how a Pi Phi should act at events. We discuss exact behaviors at social events that will result in removal from the event. The workshop discusses liability issues to both Pi Phi and CSU and what damage can be done if girls don't follow our rules. I mean, we put it in so we can tell these women that, you know, if this keeps happening, like, we could be put on probation with the fraternity and sorority life in the university. And if that happens, we're not going to have social events at all. And after telling women like repercussions that we could face as a chapter, they're much more likely to follow our rules to make sure that, you know, we can have these social events and we can spend time together. And then one big thing we cover, last bullet point here, is we do talk about different tasks one will do before, during, and after the social event if you're assigned to risk. Our risk members are so important to our social event safety, and they volunteer for these positions really just to make sure that their sisters remain safe. So we make sure to cover that with the whole chapter so everyone knows what's going on. Before the event, members are required to have a wing woman. And, you know, being open and honest about this actually started from when our chapter was on probation. We were required to have women have wing women. And the year that I was vice president of events was the year we could stop. We had already finished our probation. We completed all of our terms, but I decided that this was such a great idea that we were going to keep running with it. And ever since then, every event we've had, women have wing women. And that accountability partner has really changed our behaviors at events. Members are in dates are required to arrive 60 minutes before transportation leaves. That's so we ensure that women are sober and ready to go to the event at the venue. Pi Phi and their dates cannot go second and third floors of the house. That's to respect women, girls that maybe aren't going to these events, and also to make sure women are safe and on the main floor of the bathroom with all of their sisters. And then risk members have to attend the 30-minute meeting on Monday before the event, as well as 30-minute meetings before members arrive, once again to go over member safety and rules and accountability processes. During the event, we have one monitor for every 20 event attendees. This is per Pi Phi rules, depending on the size of the event. And these women kind of just go through the floors and the bathrooms of the chapter facility, as well as the venue, making sure sisters are okay. And that's not even only like to be sober monitors, but, you know, if a girl's having a hard time with her date and she's uncomfortable and she needs someone to get her out of that situation, we make sure we have risk members there and available to make sure every woman is safe. Sober monitors are split up equally when taking the bus to leave the venue to make sure each bus has monitors. And sober monitors make sure members get on the bus without bringing any alcohol. And we've also extended to include like nicotine or tobacco products with that, just because we don't want that in our chapter facility. And we think it's pretty disrespectful to the venue for women to be bringing in nicotine products. During the event, again, sober monitors stay in communication with the Vice President of Risk Management and Director of Social Events. And we have a group meet where women can kind of talk and see what's going on in case anyone needs help. Chapter President myself is also in that. If a member needs medical attention, I follow our emergency procedures, and I first inform my AAC chair and I call our emergency hotline. Thankfully, this did not happen this past year, so we're very glad we did not have to do that. If a member date are asked to leave at the venue, the member's wing woman and her date are also required to leave. We require that risk members actually go in the Uber. A risk member goes in the Uber with the woman. And we require that dates and members Uber home separately. And we did face quite a bit of backlash on this, but it's my belief, especially if a woman is too intoxicated, like it is not safe for us to leave her alone with a date she possibly could have just met, or someone that's not going to have her best interest or safety in mind. This is our member accountability process. This is what would happen if a woman was asked to leave an event. We have 3 approaches to accountability. One is awareness, talking to the member, letting her know, hey, action, not okay. Please refrain from doing that again. Number 2 would be a warning. So that means just a warning meeting with the member. So we're going to talk to them about, hey, this is what happened on this night. Can you kind of explain this to me? And also say, like, what else is going on in your life? Like, did something else go on? Is there something we don't know about it? Make sure that her story is also heard. So it's not just that we're calling her out and telling her what she did wrong. Third approach is a referral to our executive team and alumni advisory council for any possible general probation, dismissal, or breaking of a pledge. Automatic consequences are consequences for a specific behavior that is already in the chapter's bylaws and were voted on by the chapter. So alcohol and drugs, we have very strict member expectations with this. We make sure our women are not pressuring other members to use alcohol or drugs because that is 100% considered hazing. If under the influence, actions in conflict with Pi Beta Phi core values or irresponsible, violent, or disorderly conduct will be considered inexcusable, and that will result in an accountability process. We also require members to not associate themselves in any social media, so that's Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, any of that shows the use, promotion, or possession of alcohol or drugs in any manner. So that means, like, this is something we've really had to educate our chapter on, but you don't have to be drinking the alcohol in the photo. But if you're underage and we can tell that you are at a party and there's alcohol in the background, not something okay to post on your Instagram, especially when our chapter's name is in your Instagram bio and that's what you're promoting. Our emergency procedures, this is something I've really taken charge in. So that's just, I go over our procedures with the entire chapter, the start of every semester, just to make sure they're aware of what's going to happen in a situation. One thing that's really important that we touch on is that members are not to like directly speak to, you know, a member's parents, or if their media is involved or anything like that, just because we always want to make sure we are giving true and honest information, and also that the members, you know, her information is remaining confidential. That's also really important. Risk management education. So we have a director of policy and prevention education, a new role this semester, and she is responsible for coordinating, developing, and delivering education on applicable policies, laws, and health and safety topics. That extends beyond just Pi Phi rules, but we also talk about, you know, being safe while going out, and we've had presentations by like the Fort Collins Police Department about like just member health and safety and how to be aware in certain situations. And then, so with social events, this is kind of what we touched on before. We have those mandatory workshops, and we train our event monitors through the director of social events, and she is who goes over event planning expectations and emergency procedures prior to the social event. And that kind of concludes our risk management segment. I think we have really truly improved on risk management in the past couple years just by taking it from what it once was, where it was seen as really scary and bad, to now it's really an open dialogue with our members about this. We care about you. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be safe. And this is the conversation we're going to have. Okay. So now we're going to take a little turn and go into the chapter management area. So we rely on high functioning systems. So we utilize Greekbill to manage all of our finance and housing matters, such as payment plans, invoices, housing contracts. And chapter meeting minutes are available by emailing the Vice President of Operations. We do that because we understand women are college students also, and that's our primary focus. So if by chance you do need to miss chapter, that's okay. If you review our minutes and go over them, sign your name, you can still get points in attendance for that. We do have a financially solvent budget, which we are really proud of. This year has been so tumultuous with finances and members dropping and girls struggling financially. And we have really, really tried to do all that we can to make PyPI accessible for our members, but also to remain in good standing with our budget. Part of this is we use an executive team budget tracker sheet to make sure officers are operating within their budget and that all their charges and what they're spending is being approved by the Vice President of Finance and Housing. Having effective chapter meetings. So myself and my VPs, we take turns presenting our information. Something I started this year too is just providing good news of the week. That's something I like to end my slide with, because sometimes, especially lately, it feels like chapters just, we have to talk about bad news or sad things going on or that sort of thing. So I always want to end with something positive. We do have an organized chapter calendar. We utilize Facebook and ChapterSpot to communicate important announcements and deadlines. And I create a meeting schedule which outlines meetings, details, and reminders. Communicating with chapter membership. So one big thing I did here is I created a guide to health and safety in relation to COVID-19 to communicate changes. So they have that on our Facebook page, and they can go back, they can talk to their parents about it, and they have, frequently asked questions. I also went ahead and included like the important links provided to me by the Fraternity and Sorority Life Office related to COVID-19. And then, so I feel like chapter management is very closely related to academic achievement, and that's why I did this one next. Just because our primary focus is making sure our women are achieving academically, and once that is under wraps, we can then manage our chapter and do better as a chapter. So we do have a scholarship plan. We have a minimum GPA requirement of 2.75. And once women fall below this, we meet with them to create a plan to help them achieve that higher GPA. As chapter president, I've kind of stepped into this role this past year. I'm really passionate about grades and tutoring and helping women. So I've met with some of our women on academic probation or academic supervision just to kind of talk to them about what's going on and how we can figure out how to make school work for them. Our average GPA right now is a 3.58, which is incredible. We recognize women every week with a Smart Cookie Award. So we just recognize a gal who's maybe really working hard, did good on a test, got an internship in chapter, and they get a cute little gift card and get to talk about what they did. Accountability, so we will meet with women that are falling below our grade point requirement, and we do have study hours and a study plan women are required to complete due to a GPA that falls below our requirements. We have workshops during our election season for like helping women with interview skills and resumes. And then we've started doing virtual study sessions, which is really awesome. It's a great way to have women connect with other women in the chapter and talk about their major, their classes. I've been able to connect with gals just talking about econ because I've taken micro and macro, which a lot of women are taking and struggling. So funny enough, like virtually you can still study together. Our academic advisor is Lauren. She's incredible. She gives us so many solutions and answers our questions all about achieving academic goals, and we could not do this without her. Okay, last area is membership development. All right, so this two parts of this is our membership experience and officer transitioning. Membership experience, the first one is kind of your journey as a PyPI. So you start out as a new member and it's so fun, wow, so much to do. Sophomore, junior year, you have your friends, you're comfortable. And then senior year, we've seen that typically like things begin to fade out. And we've really upped our senior programming these past few months to make it really so it's still special and you still have things going on. And It's something I really love and I'm also really proud of. Our Leading with Values seminars are one thing we did this past semester is talk about why we wear our letters. Like, why are our letters so important to us? And that's because even when you take your letters off, you're still kind of branded as a Pi Phi, and that's why we need to live our values out loud on campus, at work, at home, wherever you are. One of my favorite sisterhoods I want to talk about that we did was our drive-in sisterhood. So we were able to rent out the drive-in here in Fort Collins, and we had it socially distanced. Women stayed with their roommates, but they were staying connected safely, and that was just incredible. That was a really big moment for us this past year. Something that's so awesome is we created a new position, the Director of Diversity and Inclusion. We're one of the few chapters to be selected to be a part of this pilot program. And basically, we are raising our voices together against racial injustices and recognizing the privilege that we inherently have in order to make our organization and all others more accessible to women. Officer transition. So the biggest thing here is we are leaving a legacy of leaders, and this year has been so hard and so disappointing for myself and the rest of my exec team. But overall, I am so proud of the new team coming in here. I can't express how grateful I am for all these opportunities, and that I've been able to watch my chapter, my sisters grow. And I know more than anything, no matter what happens with COVID or anything else, our sisterhood is so strong. And it's because of these areas, it's because of the guidance from our AAC, and it's because of just the genuine sisterhood we've created here. Here's our current diversity and inclusion director, Allie Lawler. She's incredible. She educates us on so many different things. And this is our incoming director, diversity and inclusion, Kelly. She's also excited. Love her. So fun. And then talking about membership development a little bit. This was just our three kind of areas: membership experience, diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as officer transitions. So I just want to thank y'all again. Like I said, this year has been hard, and I'm a numbers person. Usually I walk away from things knowing I did well based on like numbers of events we had, or, you know, what I did well with elevations or this or that. And for a while, I've been kind of wondering my worth as a chapter president, but I've realized through putting together these presentations that we may not have had a lot of things we were able to do, but our sisterhood is stronger now than it has ever been. And in a way, I'm grateful for COVID-19 for giving that to us. And I'm grateful that it taught myself and my sisters so much. And I'm so grateful for this year and where my chapter is. And all in all, I am always proud to be a Colorado Gamma Pi Phi. And thank you for helping me this year. And I also want to thank Natalie Padron really quick. She has taught me so much. And she's probably a reason that our chapter has seen so much success, because I've always felt so supported by her, as well as Lindsay Sell. You both have listened to me so much. So thank you. And thank you to our judges for listening to me. I appreciate you. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks.